Good morning, grade 3s. Today in poetry, we are going to learn about a kind of poem that is called an acrostic poem. Let me write that down with the chalk that I put somewhere last week. Give me a moment. Oh, haha, I found it. So an acrostic poem, this is the word acrostic, is actually a very old style of poetry. If you were to look at your Bible in the book of Psalms, Psalm 119 is a large acrostic poem. Now, bear in mind that when it was written in the language of Hebrew, not in English. So if we're looking at it, it's not going to look like an acrostic poem to us. But in the original language, Psalm 19 is an acrostic poem using the entire Hebrew alphabet. So this is a pretty cool form that we can see even in the Bible. Now, an acrostic poem just takes a word or a phrase or an idea, and instead of writing it out this way, it writes it vertically. Okay? So let's choose one. How about we do grade 3? So instead of writing it horizontally, instead of going in that direction, I'm going to draw it going down. And I'm going to use all capital letters when I write it, because keep in mind that the beginning of each line should still have a capital. So here I go. Grade. You know what, I'm going to do, I'm not. But I would keep going down, except I don't have room. I'll do it over here. Okay, so I have my words written out. They're going vertically. And now I am going to use the first letters of every line, and I'm going to describe grade 3. Now, I'm doing this one quickly. This is not going to be the best acrostic poem ever, but it will work, okay? For the letter G, I'm thinking great. This class is great. It's awesome. Oh, hey, I have an A. Awesome. What could the R stand for? How about really fun? All right, the D. Does work. You definitely do work in this class, unless you've been lazy at home this whole time, but you've pretty much all been handing things in, so I know you're not being lazy. All right, do you see how I'm just taking the first letters and I'm using it to think of ideas? Okay, I would continue going down, and if you guys were all here right now, we would write this together. You guys would give me ideas, but you're not here. Ooh, E. Emerson. And then another E could be Emerson the microwave. I like it. I don't know if you can see that part over. So the idea is just to almost brainstorm about your topic. So my topic is grade 3, and then just put a bunch of ideas together. You can write short sentences. You can write words. You can write describing things. So this is what an acrostic poem is. We are going to move on now, and we're going to read a book. It's called Poetry, but you'll notice the word tree is spelled like it's a tree that grows outside. Poetry is usually spelled with a Y. So these are nature acrostic poems. Let's go through them and see what it looks like.
All right, let's read this book called Poetry. It goes in the seasons, and we're starting with spring. So we can look down the side. It says seed germinate, and germinate just means when a seed starts to grow. Sleep enfolded in Mother Earth's dark, rich dirt. Gently wakened, each radical makes its secret way, nudging forward as the sun whispers, emerge. Now, you see how they actually made like sentences? You can do that too. Shoot roots, stretching up higher out of darkness, yearning for the sky, reaching down deep out of sight, anchoring in the soil. Leaves flowers. Like emerald flags aflutter, vibrant bunting extends, soaking up the sun. Fragrant buds launch open wide, exhaling their promise. Red apples soon. Now we're into summer. Breeze, sunshine, rain. Bloom perfume rides the wind, enticing hungry explorers to zip in and exit dusty. Striving upwards, new saplings grow, hopeful in the light that nurtures everything it touches, refreshing all it blesses with new life. Nest veins. Nature's nursery keeps each egg safely tucked till mother's return. Vital lines extend inside the leaf like narrow straws sipping rain. Insects. Inching creatures nest and feed on stem and leaf, ever working, always watching, creepy, crawly tenants string their sticky silver strands. Now we're into fall. Apples and bushel. Autumn's plump parcels dangle low, juicy, and extra sweet. Brown baskets underneath spill over as farmers harvest each laden limb. Harvest. Home-baked apple raspberry pies cool until visitors arrive and everyone shares in Thanksgiving. I can just smell that. Nuts. Nestled underground, another harvest hides thanks to a busy squirrel. Colors and deciduous. Remember, deciduous are the kinds of leaves that fall off the tree. Crimson, orange, lemon, ochre, and ruby spill across each slope and leafy canvas. Darker evenings chill inside and out. Dancing trees sway under the moon as each leaf falls one by one, undressing for winter's sleep. And then in winter, which is where we are right now, knots bare. Knobs and nodes mark memories of branches, tales now told in scars. Brittle bark hugs the aging tree at rest as its sap ebbs. Snow and ice. Sleep nestled under the white quilt of winter. In glass cocoons silent branches lie, encased in crystal. How beautiful. Quiet. Quick chickadees swoop under icy boughs of evergreen. A song, then all is still. Rings. Round memories held deep inside now get to tell their stories. And then seeds. Somehow, each ending is not the end. Even death scatters new beginnings. And this is something that as Christians we really understand. How can death mean a new beginning? Well, we know that Jesus' death was actually a new beginning for the church and for us. That was the opening for everlasting life, and we can see that in our seasons. Thank you for sharing this book with me.
So you've seen now all of the beautiful pictures, the beautiful poems in this book. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing at home. Today you're going to write 2 acrostic poems. First of all, I would like you to write an acrostic poem of your first name. Unless, let's say, if your first name has 4 letters or less, can you do your first name and your last name? So I'm thinking like, okay, Aloe, you can do your last name. Pat, you can either do your last name or you can do Patricio, do the whole long thing. I'm looking around at your desk trying to see who has the shorter name. I feel like that's everyone who has shorter names. If I missed you, please forgive me. It's really hard to look at empty desks and try to remember who's sitting there. Oh, it's very confusing. So you're gonna do one of your name. Describe yourself. Be kind to yourself, please. If you hand in something where you are calling yourself bad things, I'm gonna make you redo it, all right? Number 2, you're gonna write a second acrostic poem, and this can be any topic that you want. We read a book that had a lot of nature topics. Maybe you'll look out your window and be inspired by nature. Maybe coronavirus, you've got some things you'd like to say about that. Lockdown, I mean, you can add some very strong emotions into your poetry, I'm sure. So you choose your second topic and hand both poems into me on Google Classroom. You can either take a picture from your writer's notebook, or you can write it out in a Google Doc or another document and attach that. I look forward to reading these later today. Talk to you later.